Hello and welcome to the NED Talks platform. I am back with Daniel Quinones, who is a member of the NED expert review panel and a BANT registered nutritional therapist. Daniel has written an expert review on the paper that we're looking at here, which is available on the Nutrition Evidence Database, which is a double-blinded randomized controlled trial on the effects of zinc supplementation on the symptoms of migraine attacks. So thank you for the expert review, Daniel, and welcome back to the NED Talks platform.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
Could you start, Daniel, with giving us an overview of the paper, what they were trying to achieve?
Yeah, so this was a double-blind randomized clinical trial where they analyzed the effects of 220 milligrams of zinc sulfate, which works out to 50 milligrams of elemental zinc, combined with routine migraine treatment. And they compared that to a group receiving a placebo along with the same routine migraine treatment. The study duration was 8 weeks. There was 40 participants between the ages of 20 and 60 in each group, and they needed to have experienced greater than 5 years of migraines or migraine symptoms. There were some positive outcomes when compared to the placebo group. The intervention group saw a reduction in headache severity, but that became statistically non-significant when they adjusted for potential confounders and baseline values of headache severity. However, they also noted that the intervention group did experience a reduction in migraine attack frequency, which was statistically significant.
Okay, and then were there any sort of major issues that came up or considerations that came up whilst you were going through the expert review?
Yeah, some of the issues with this study was that it was pretty small with only 40 participants in each group, so they weren't able to identify differences between genders. There were also some dietary differences between groups. The placebo group had higher intakes of carbohydrates and zinc, and that could have played a role in some of the differences we've seen between groups, even though they did control for zinc intake. I think further trials with better dietary controls would be useful to eliminate potential confounders. I would also like to see the use of consort guidelines for reporting, as I feel that would have strengthened the reporting. I think analysis of biomarkers would have helped as well to identify any potential mechanisms for how zinc may relieve migraine symptoms. I think larger trials would be useful as well, with larger sample sizes and longer durations, so that we can see, what the effect would be over a longer period of time. And I also think that it would be useful to see trials analyzing different dosages and different forms of zinc, just to see which is the best or potentially the best dosage or best form as well.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, really interesting. And just to sort of sum up, any key takeaways for our listeners?
Yeah, there was a 100% compliance rate. There was no adverse effects reported. So this does appear to be a safe and well-tolerated intervention, and it could be useful for reducing the migraine frequency. But I personally wouldn't recommend long-term supplementation of a single nutrient due to potential imbalances with other nutrients. So we have that 8-week timeline, but we don't know beyond that as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, really interesting. Daniel, thank you so much for sharing your insights on this paper. There are so many people out there, aren't there, that are suffering with migraine headache attacks that are difficult to control sometimes with conventional medication. So it's always nice to know that there are some additional tools in the box. For those listening, you can read about Daniel and how to connect with him on the Nutrition Evidence Database by clicking on the Expert Reviewer tab, and you can access the full expert review that Daniel has written on the Nutrition Evidence Database. So thank you for listening to this NED Talk, brought to you by the Nutrition Evidence editorial team in partnership with BANT.